It's rolling. All right, so I just wanted to say that I just told everybody that was in here watching this that I be coming in here getting on camera and be looking a mess, head be beating and shit, because I don't really be caring, because I still feel like I can still out-rap all you niggas. I don't care what the fuck I look like. And now we're going to get into the intro.
CTE, first episode officially. It took a minute.
But we here.
We here,
you know what I'm saying? Like you said, CTE.
Let's get into it, man. Introduce yourself, bro.
I'm Chris Cassius. They call me Six, the Moscato mascot. That is me, I am him, he is I.
Henny Honcho, he back at it. Just because I'm not a high head don't mean I won't heat shit up like I'm anemic. You feel me? Happy hour. More H's in my name than the other nigga from DX. Let's talk.
Yo, that was
Thank you.
I fuck with that. Yo.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man, this shit been a long time coming. This one actually gonna drop. We already recorded 2 episodes.
We in there too, so we got our feet wet already.
Yeah. The chemistry here, the topics here. Let's really get into it. One thing I do want to talk about specifically is it's kind of some funny shit, but it also goes into mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kanye,
okay,
on Twitter, it's rumored that whenever he got an album coming out, he don't take his meds and shit like that. How you feel about that?
I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you pay attention to the like the patterns or whatever, it almost seemed like super like manipulated. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause in my head it's like, all right, well, I be thinking shit like 10, 20 times over more than what I need to. So like in my head it's kind of like, all right, we're gonna sit back, let Kanye make all this music. Then when he feels solid enough to put a project out, now we're gonna give Kanye West his phone. Now Kanye West has access to social media, so all of that shit he was upset about while he was making this body of work, now he gonna get on Twitter and just spit it all out for real, and everybody gonna look at him like he crazy. Then we're gonna drop some new shoes, we're gonna drop a new shirt, we're gonna drop this, drop that. Oh, here come the album. Like it's just repetitive. Like it's been going on. Like it's been happening. Now that ain't to say that what's going on couldn't just be like, it couldn't be real, because it very well could. Because if you ever dealt with people who have like bipolar disorders and stuff like that, like like it's like a light switch. You know what I'm saying? Drop of a dime, like they could be one way and then be another way. So I'm not gonna say I 100% believe that it's a little conspiracy to it, but I ain't gonna say I don't. You know what I mean?
I think what make it crazier is that how involved his wife was with certain tweets. You feel me? Like, it was rumored that like she was on a date with Meek apparently or some shit like that. Niggas posted a picture, they was having a meeting about prison reform apparently or some shit. And it's just like, I don't know, but Kanye is always, I'm aggravated, I'm tired. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck no more. Like, I don't even care about the music, so it's like, this shit don't affect me none. But it's like, specifically with Kanye, it's like, bro, go out as a legend, leave this shit alone. You can't make, you're not at your game, you're not at your peak no more. Learn how to cut your losses. And it's always something new with this dude, from him beefing with Drake to him saying, oh, Lil Baby don't want to work with me. Like, bro, you looking sad.
Which like, is why, you know what I mean, like, even down to the Lil Baby tweet, like, I kind of do go, like, retract my statement just a little, because it's like, you still see, like, how sporadic these comments is coming out. And it's almost as if, like I said, excuse me, have you ever dealt with a person that like have a bipolar disorder or something? Like, for instance, the tweet about me, right? Think about, as a man, if you've ever, like, if your girl was like, yeah, I'm about to go ahead and do such and such today, and you feel me, I don't know, but just randomly or whatever the case may be, I'm sure we all been there, but any moment where you thought your girl might have just went and did some foul shit, right? Think about how you processed it in your mind.
You're seeing the worst. You
know what I'm saying? And then take that same process and now add bipolar disorder to it. It gets out of hand. Like, that's a big, like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's a good point.
It manifests completely different when you add that element. Like, it's a little more impactful. It's a little more like too much reality. Like, it's like it's completely real in your head. But essentially, I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but I seen the pictures. And she was sitting at a table, which could have been the hotel, but she was sitting at a table in some sort of dining room setting. It was her, another woman, and Meek Mill.
I thought it was another man.
No, I thought it was a woman. Maybe it was a man though. It could have been, but it was 3 people at the table.
I had to taste this joke, but I'm gonna cop my dub on that.
Okay, we not doing that. we not doing that.
Hey, Craig, you was just speaking on this. We got Craig Lee in the building, ladies and gentlemen. What's that word for when it's like you're so caught up and like you think what's not real is reality that you just spoke on?
Oh, derealization.
Derealization.
Yeah, that definitely.
Could you define that for me?
Oh yeah. So basically, you have a distorted view on the world. Like everything you experience, it don't feel like it's real.
Yeah.
So like even with Kanye, like him going from Chicago to Calabasas, he probably in his bipolar disorder, he probably like this is too much to handle.
Right.
Okay. Some valid points.
So I mean, like I said, once again though, you go through normal things. Like you go through these things that people that are considered normal go through. Like your emotions go the same way, but once you add different like mental disorders to that, you know, it kicked that shit up a notch. Like it kicked that shit up times 10, and you know what I mean? Because I've dealt with people with different like mental disorders and things like that. So to see firsthand what different people like go through, what they experience, how their mind function, it's normal, but it's just layered with like just another element that, you know, like me and you, we couldn't really relate. You know, it's different. You can't, and then you got to be careful with your words, because in a sense you're invalidating the person.
Certain like triggers and whatnot.
Exactly.
The thing is, that's not just with like mental disorders and whatnot. That's life.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you may feel as though a word ain't as effective or as triggering to you specifically, but you use it to somebody else. They gonna take it as like, oh, you know what I mean? You don't even see my point. You invalidating what I'm saying, like, and that shit hurt though. You know what I mean? That's just one thing people in general got. Yeah, we gotta do that.
That's a lesson to learn with women too.
Yeah,
but you know,
definitely.
That's a dumb discussion.
Definitely.
Speaking of women though, in these last few weeks, we've seen women kind of like corner like the music industry. Yeah. Like they really got everything just back into a corner and they can do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? And like I've been telling female artists that I know personally for a while now, like, yo, like that time coming with like it's now, like you about to be able to like really like ball in your court. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that you do, long as you put 110% behind it, that shit gonna pop. Like it's no way you can lose right now. Because we see with the Meg Thee Stallions and the Flo Millies and Sweeties and stuff like that. Like it's getting crazy, and I'm really happy to see it, to be honest.
Mulatto, another one. I just got to the song, like the Freaky Girl flip that she did. Like it's fire. Like
my only takeaway from the Mulatto thing, I did hear the song. I didn't listen to it in its entirety. I do like what I was hearing though. But I felt like for such a strong rollout, it should have been a project. I feel like that rollout was a little too heavy. Cause like you involve Gucci in it and everything. Like that's a rollout for a project.
That's what I thought it was.
In my opinion, I thought it was like a mixtape. I was prepared for, you know, 10 to 12 songs. Like I was like, okay, she about to drop a project, but the head was a single was a little bit of a letdown.
This is my thing though. If she can the rollout for that single, she can do that for a project.
Yeah,
she gonna take over.
Yeah, but I mean, how many times? True. It's like how many times? But how many times can you play the Gucci card? Like you used your one chance right there. Like it was like,
But I will say, you know, if it's good enough, I think it's good enough. Maybe if it's stand the test of time, people won't get tired of Gucci flips. You know what I mean? Like it's so many different lanes and avenues you can take with this. That is like, there's no ceiling for that. Like we in the era. Shout out to Work and Title Podcast, which they spoke on. They said, people are tired of all these remixes and flips, or they endorsing them. I'm gonna endorse them because nostalgia plays a great big factor into a lot of shit. Like, and mind you, like we talk about this a lot, right? High school for me specifically, was 8 years ago. I graduated high school 8 years ago, right? That don't seem like that long, but when I hear a song from high school, it's like, oh shit,
days.
You know what I mean?
Down them hallways and shit.
Exactly. Like after the school, what you doing and whatnot. Like, so when people flipping that, it's gonna bring the nostalgia factor. And if she can keep doing it to the extent where it's not overbearing, right? I don't think it's not that good style.
Because I mean, I'm not too opposed to the flips neither though. Yeah. Because I mean, I feel like we watched men do it for a long time.
Hip hop with it,
and even in the newest coming of artists, because I mean we watched how many Chicks tapes?
Yeah,
and people was super excited about them. Yeah, they were super excited. So I can't really. I would hate to speak against, you know what I'm saying, a female negatively that's flipping music. And I watch men do it, and like everybody else,
no backlash.
Yeah, like we just be like bumping that shit. So I mean, I think the flips be cool. I think it's even cooler that it's coming from females.
Yeah.
And like I mean, speaking of which, Saweetie, like.
Big Mama.
Yeah, like I wasn't really a Saweetie fan when she first came out, cause it wasn't flips. Yeah, like I wasn't really a Saweetie fan when she first came out, cause it wasn't flips. It was like her own songs, and I wasn't really feeling it. It was more so to speak to her skill though. I didn't think she really had the skill.
Yeah.
I thought she had the look. She didn't have the skill. But I mean, shit, she give you a mean ass flip. Like she give you a mean ass flip.
That Pretty Bitch freestyle, like that is some of the most enjoyable 2.5 minutes I've heard all year. Like I'm not exaggerating. Like me and BDJ religiously bumped that. Like me and him just in the car. Like I'm like, yo, you know what to play. Like we put that shit on. We put it on repeat. Like that is a great song. Like in my opinion, I get what you're saying, because like when she started off, like. I heard the tap ins and shit like that, and I wasn't really feeling it.
Then a little freestyle video that was floating around. It was like, oh, what's she doing?
But then she did that, and I feel like she just caught a random pocket. Yeah, you know what I mean? She just took advantage of.
So she see what her lane is.
Exactly.
I ain't mad at her.
And like that's another thing, right? I'm big on versatility, right? Extremely big on it. But I'm also not going to knock you for knowing your lane, because some things you may have tried and it just don't work out. And that's for any artist, not just a woman artist. That's for any artist. I think it's crucial. Like Dom Kennedy, another example.
Okay.
Working title. BDJ said, you know, Sweetie's Dom Kennedy for
queens,
for the women.
Yeah. I thought that was a fire take too.
It's fire.
It was,
because that nigga know his lane. And you know what I mean. And we not like to this day. We don't not Get Home Safely. We don't not Yellow Album. We don't not From West Side With Love too. Where they all are consistent, like similar lanes.
Right.
I'm not going to Sweeties for doing something like that either.
Yeah, you can't be mad at it. Can't be mad at it. We can't let the genders cause the divide in the music for real. I think it's cool. Like I said, I think it's cool to see the flips.
Yeah.
And then like again, that fucking hot take was crazy.
Yeah.
That Dom Kennedy shit. That shit was
crazy.
It was super accurate. Cause I was like, when he said it, I was thinking, I'm just like, damn, all right, like. I can see that. It make perfect sense. So
while we talking about, you know, the strength of women in the entertainment business, let's talk about Netflix adding Moesha.
Yeah. I mean,
they got more shit coming.
Yeah, they got a whole list of shit about to drop. But I think adding Moesha was a good thing. Yeah. I think it's fire for like the generations who actually grew up on it. I also think it's fire for the generations who didn't. But also, like, it leave that like element of I'm a little afraid of the think pieces that's about to come.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, like this generation, this era is like they gonna go back in time and find something.
Yeah, they gonna rip that shit apart, bro.
Slightest thing.
Like for instance, I already know when the Parkers hit.
Oh my God,
they is gonna tear that. Like Nikki Parker and Mr. Oglesby shit apart.
That's Monique character was Nikki?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember.
She was Nikki. Yeah. So I mean you had Nikki, a plus size woman, a beautiful woman, a plus size woman, chasing after a college professor, and he was like dubbing her all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I know the pieces that's gonna come behind it, but at the same time, out of like the comedy factor, I think any shape of woman that could have played that role, it still would have been played. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they still would have implemented that into the story. I don't think it was so much to say this is just about a bigger woman. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean, specifically.
So let me ask you this, right? With like shows and music back then, it wasn't as censored. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't as aware. As opposed to 2020 now, it was like everything, you gonna have to take a certain type of step. You feel me? Do you think that's for better or worse?
I don't know, bro. It's hard to call because
sometimes you just want to have fun. Like that.
It's like
us personally, we don't see the Parkers as she's stalking this man. She doing the most. We just see it's just comedy.
Right.
That's how I understand the flip side of it. Mm-hmm. Am I gonna take it to that extent? No.
Yeah, right.
But I understand it.
But I mean, we are in these like coming into these newer generations of youth that they analyze everything from top to bottom. I don't care if how much humor you add into it. Right. They gonna take out that part where it's like, wait, he wasn't supposed to say this. Yeah. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a right and wrong. So I understand. Like if you tone that line, you gonna stick to your right and your wrong. But I don't know, man. Yeah. I feel like it's a lot of society that may have been toxic right before our eyes, but we didn't see it that way. We seen the humor and shit.
And it's wild because we had a talk yesterday. Mm-hmm. Me, you, Nah, and Justice. Yeah. We had like a in-depth talk about certain things. We not sure. You know what I mean? But it just goes to show like we are so accustomed to something. Yeah. We don't see it as they toxic or it's abuse or you know what I mean. But then you reading up on it and you watching shit from the other side. You outside looking in, right? And it's like, that happened to me. Right. Yeah. That could be classified as something that shouldn't have happened to me.
Right. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It just say a lot about like the evolution of people. Mm-hmm. Like it say a lot. You know what I'm saying? And that's why during that conversation we was having, I was saying I think we the turning point. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we finally at that point of people wanting to know. You know what I'm saying? I think I want to put it that way. We at the perfect point of people wanting to know. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That it's no reason why we should lack in certain areas. So
we got all the resources too, yo.
I'm so happy Moesha is on Netflix, and I will get to watch it and enjoy and feel the nostalgia. I am not prepared for the think pieces that come from it, but I'll take the time out of my day to read it and understand where another person is coming from, because there may be something that I missed. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It was probably things that was incorporated into these shows where me being as young as I was, I didn't pick up on it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see these shows come back to some platform where we can watch them on a daily basis for real.
So we're the biggest Moesha fan. I'm not saying it wasn't good. I just never watched as much as everybody else. I've probably only seen probably 20 episodes, right? Yeah. 15, 20 episodes. But that's how I was with the Parkers too. Okay. Girlfriends, I'm not a big fan of. Mm-hmm. It's just not my steez. Cool.
It's crazy because all three of them I watched all of them.
See?
I did.
You watched half and half? I never watched that.
I watched half and half too.
Never watched half and half.
Half.
If you watch, I was a fan of one-on-one.
This was a crip.
Yo.
That was the craziest, like, you seeing him talk about that shit was, bro, not only was he a crip, this is years later, he's doing this interview, older as shit, man, right? Bro, I don't think it was Vlad, he was talking to some lady I think I seen, bro. Okay.
I seen it.
He pulled the flag out his back pocket. I'm like, you still crippin'. Like, Arnaz is crippin'. Yeah. Like, that shit crazy.
Arnaz is a character, man.
Yeah, that shit was well.
I think that's the only show I've watched, like, out of all of them that's dropping, that I watched consistently. That was on UPN. Like, I remember, like, watching that shit at the school. Like, One-on-One was one of them things, yo. That's one of them shows where, like, it got to stop. It may not be the most, critically acclaimed show. It may not be the best show. Right. But I enjoyed it personally. Plus
that's all off the network, in my opinion.
Kyla Pratt looks so good, man.
Yeah. She aged well.
True queen. Mm. True queen. If you see this, I love you.
Nigga shooting his shot.
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
I don't know, yo, on there is Crippin'. You might want to back.
Hey, was he Crippin' Coach Carter?
Bro.
No, he wasn't.
He definitely was crippin'. He
was crippin' outside of the movie. I'm talking about in the movie. He was a sucker.
No, I wanted him to tell a story about how it came to be. He said he got into it with some people. Yeah. And he ran.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
He ran into an acting school.
Yeah.
And he said he ended up filling out an application just to buy time until niggas left.
Because he said the ops was outside. And he was like, I was outnumbered, so I ran in there. He said I was just waiting it out. And he said eventually while I'm in there, like, I just filled out the paperwork and shit. And that is how we got our names.
So he's
it's crazy.
Not an actor.
Yeah, he's not an actor.
So he's a full-time crip, part-time actor.
Bro,
Okay.
This interview looked like it was like a few months ago when he was telling this story. It came out
a little while ago.
It was. I
didn't see the full interview.
Like 10 years ago.
It came out maybe a couple years ago.
I'm gonna say this: the first time I seen Arnaz on TV or film or anything, to whenever they shot this motherfucking interview. For him to still have that flag in his back pocket, that's crazy. Because he was like, they told me never forget where I come from. He like pulled the rag out, was like,
fellas who's still in it.
Yo, that shit was crazy. So I'm like, what the hell?
While we on the topic of full-time and part-time, this nigga is a full-time Crip, part-time actor.
Yo.
Apparently, J. Cole's trying to be a full-time NBA player, part-time rapper. How you feel about that?
The source I read said Master P confirmed.
Yeah.
So I feel like that shit is 100% true. Because him being one of the only rappers to ever hit the league, I feel like who else would you have that conversation with?
Exactly.
So I 100% do believe J. Cole probably trying to go to the league. We all know J. Cole went to St. John's in New York and played ball. I seen J. Cole play in a celebrity game once.
He looked funny.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
I thought he looked really bad. Yeah. Like really bad, but all power to J. Cole. J. Cole just dropped a shoe. I think that's fire. He dropped Puma.
Basketball shoe.
And that shit look fire too. I might cop me a pair.
For real?
Yeah, no.
I didn't see it.
If I seen the picture correctly, I thought the shoe was cool for real. So yeah, I might grab one. But I think that's hard. Like I think that's like pushing that message of like you can do whatever you want to do. Possible. You know what I'm saying? Especially and then like I said, for the source to come from somebody, hopefully it's true. But for it to say it came from Master P and shit, I'm just like, yo, look at everything Master P does.
Yeah.
He had TV shows for his kids on Nickelodeon.
He
was like he had the craziest contract ever. You know what I'm saying? Like this man got gold sinks in his house. Yeah. Like what more? Like he sells noodles.
It's no nigga you can really get this advice from other than him.
Yeah,
I'm talking for basketball specifically.
True.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Who started as a rapper.
Because
he always had a fascination with basketball. Like,
right.
While we're here, we can talk about this too. You watch any No Limit documentary?
I didn't get a chance to look at it just yet.
I ain't gonna lie, it's great.
Okay.
I watched the first few episodes. It's great.
Okay.
But you can tell this nigga has full, complete creative control.
Yo, because when you come into the game and because I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. If you're watching this, you could always, comment, hit me on Twitter, Instagram, tell me I was wrong when I'm saying this. But to my knowledge, when he was offered his contract, the label ain't believing what he was doing anyway, which is why the percentages was so crazy. Because they didn't think he was going to get nothing. So they was really going after the little bit they thought they would get. Yeah. And then it turns out he like triple what the fuck they was expecting.
And it started off he's getting 85%, they getting 15.
Right.
And then after everything was settled, he ended up getting 80%, they got 20.
Right.
Or he started off 80-20, then he got 85-15, whatever. I think that's what it was.
That shit crazy, bro.
I ain't gonna lie.
When you start out with control like that,
it set the tone for your whole career.
Yeah, like who the fuck you gonna tell you what to do with what?
And shout out to Darren. Something I see, he tweeted it too, but it's become a popular tweet, was No Limit's legacy greater than sign their actual music. I agree. But I will never knock it. You feel me? Because it's like, if you want to do that, niggas like us, we don't give a fuck if their music suck.
Right.
Long as they doing something.
Right.
They doing something positive.
They
showing us, they being role models for us and letting niggas know, hey, we can do this. Like, a lot of No Limit music don't age well. A lot of it does,
but they still hold that in style. I feel like maybe, you know what? I feel like maybe we don't give their music enough credit. I think I genuinely feel that way because I think we chalk No Limit up to Master P, and it was a lot of artists involved.
Yeah, they had Steve, Mystical.
Yeah, because I don't think No Limit get the same respect that 3 6 Mafia get. You know what I'm saying? Like people will reach.
Musically, I agree.
Yeah, like people will definitely look past DJ Paul and Juicy J and speak on everybody else that was involved in that music scene for real. But we don't really do that with No Limit, and I think it kind of sell them short. Because I think they.
I'm gonna tell you why though.
But I think they situation was a lot bigger than what people allowed it to seem. They had movies. They had all kinds of they had an all-star lineup. You know what I'm saying? Like they lineup was crazy. But you know, I just
the business side was insane, right? Mm-hmm. But they also popping a little bit before, but around the same time, it's Cash Money.
True, yeah.
And Cash Money music, in my opinion, that shit ages perfectly.
Yeah.
I still listen to 400 Degrees, still listen to Guerrilla Warfare, I still listen to all that, right? Yeah. And they going basically head to head, and he spoke on it in the documentary for a little bit, but they going head to head essentially. But No Limit, they may not be making the best music, but they making some more money. Yeah, they making more money than them Cash Money
niggas was dropping tapes every fucking week.
Right? And they getting 85% of that?
Of everything, yeah. That shit crazy.
You can't knock it.
That shit
can't knock it.
There will never be another story in the music and such.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely banking on the industry in itself has come up with that formula to make sure that shit don't happen again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna tax
360 days.
Yeah, like, they gonna tax you even if they don't believe in you. Because they're like, nah, this nigga might Master P niggas, and then he running off with the bag. It ain't gonna happen again.
That's why I salute any nigga who can, you know what I mean, find that workaround.
Yeah.
They can find that.
Speaking of which, I just seen like a week or so ago a headline talking about YoungBoy and how he went to go get his masters.
Okay.
And they wasn't trying to part with it.
Who's also to? I'm not.
I believe it might be something through Atlantic.
Is that anybody confirmed or no? Okay. Nobody knows.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know for sure 100% at this very moment, but I know he offered like a few million to get his masters, and they was like, nah, like they wasn't with it because, I mean, if you think about it from the label standpoint, one, like I said, they not gonna let nobody pull a Master P again.
Yeah.
We all know that YoungBoy is and has been the biggest YouTube artist for a good little while, for real.
Confirmed it's Atlantic.
It's Atlantic? Yeah, okay. So, I mean, like I said, I think that the industry in itself, they gonna bank on everything anyway. But you being the biggest thing YouTube right now, I don't know where you about to get your masters from them white people.
Yo, he's putting up the craziest YouTube numbers.
Yeah, like, they ain't never seen it.
He be having videos I didn't know he dropped, but it's like we at that era where it's like, you know what I mean, you drop the deluxe album, so your streams going, no matter how bad the song is, they gonna listen. You gonna get a percentage of that. Like
the first name that I did say was Meg Thee Stallion when I was to the women. So in recent events, it was said that Meg Thee Stallion was shot.
Yes.
We was clueless as to by whom and why.
Yeah.
So the little bit of details that we do have at this very moment is that she was shot in both her feet.
Thanks to her IG live.
Thanks to her IG live. And, you know, condolences and everything to Meg Thee Stallion because she spoke on her mom. Yeah. Her mom passing. And
her father.
And her dad. Damn.
She going through a lot, yo. And I don't think you really realize that, yo. She a strong woman, man, for real.
And like she was saying in the video, you know, like you put yourself around people and times like that, you put yourself around just as many people as you can. Yeah. You're not really looking for the right people to be around. You're just trying to fill the room.
Just anything.
You know what I'm saying? So that was a real understandable, you know, statement that she had made. But the elephant in the room is the smallest nigga in the room.
Yeah.
Tory Lanez.
That guy, that's what he is to me. He's that guy.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, we don't know why he shot his rumored and shit like that, but I don't like speaking on rumors. I like speaking on facts. Yeah. It was rumored that, you know, he shot her accidentally or whatever. In no position should you have a gun around a woman for them to even be shot. You know what I mean? If it's not defensive for them, you're not even pulling that out. Yep. You know what I mean? That's how I know about the business. Like, you're not pulling that shit out. Not even to show them. Yep. I got this just in case something happened to you. Let's leave it at that. But and it's both feet, right?
Both feet. So like I'm thinking like, what does she have her legs crossed, my nigga? Like,
you know what I mean?
For it to be an accident,
you feel me?
I'm like, nah, bro.
You feel
me? You get 1 foot, you get 2 feet. Nah, I wasn't born last night.
It's too much.
Yeah,
it's
you was trying to end that lady career.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And we haven't heard anything from him, but we've heard things from her producers. She never directly, you know, confirmed that it was him or whatever, but her producer did, and I think her bodyguard maybe. He said if I was around, that wouldn't have happened or some shit like that. From the outside looking in, he just looked pitiful. Yo, he looked like a sucker.
It looked bad.
I don't like gossiping and shit like that, but that's what it looked like.
It was crazy to me because, like, not saying that this had anything to do with it, but it just looked like he was like really having a cool run. Like everything was going right for you.
How he was having this quarantine in general.
Yeah, like I had peeped like a week or two before this incident. He had just signed a guy from Miami. Like he just signed the artist. I was checking your numbers and looking at his music. He was doing really good. I'm like, oh, all right, you just put stock in something really like fire for real. It might push your brand. You know what I'm saying? And then like come to like you hear this type of stuff. Yeah. And I mean, for people who may not know, it's a lot of places you can be shot that wouldn't necessarily be the deadliest of things. But you know, being shot in your feet is
bones.
It's definitely like that's a serious thing for her to walk away from. Literally walk away from that, because like some people do not. Like you get shot in your feet, most of the time you are not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's like spinal injuries. Like it's serious. Like for her to stand up at this point and move around is a blessing within itself, for real. Hopefully we do get more details and find out exactly what's going on. You know, me personally, I don't really care for the details. I'm just glad that, you know, she is okay and still here to talk to us about, you know, whatever she wants to talk about today. Whoever did it, I hope that, you know, they
he better than me. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
I was trying to be nice. Yeah,
fuck
that nigga. Hopefully he get the repercussions that is well deserved, for real.
No, that's right.
Yeah. So what we doing now, man? I think this is a good first. You know what I mean?
First take.
Yeah.
I think we
did a hell of a pilot. Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is gonna come out.
Yeah, we're gonna drop this one for sure.